1.
Welcome to the Nevermind podcast YouTube episode, Patagonia, March 2025 with Matt and John Ruth.
Oh,
End of the trip, 2,800 kilometres.
mostly
We're
dirt.
cooked. Describe it, John.
Oh, gee, thanks, Matt. I feel baked. Wow, what a trip.
Sensory overload.
Sensory overload, yeah, like it's going to take months just to process what's in the head at the moment. Even today, you know, like it started out with glaciers and scenery like you wouldn't want to believe, and then every day Matt would say, oh, it just gets better, John. And I'd go, oh, shut up, Matt, it can't get any better than this. Last day today, we rode into, where are we?
Villa La Angostura.
Yeah, that one. And past this beautiful blue lake with hills on either side and some lovely twisty sealed road, which made a whole lot of difference to the not so lovely rocky stuff, but that made the adventure. Everybody here that's been on this trip feels like we've done something really special. You know, we survived an adventure like no other adventure. I'm about out, mate.
No, we're tired, but we just wanted to do it rough and ready,
Yeah.
straight off we've just got off the bikes. We're just our first beer and we're like, let's just do it and see what happens. So I think we said yesterday that it's mind expanding, isn't it? It's like you see that the world is our playground.
Okay. Now, I remember saying after Sri Lanka, I felt like I'd hit the reset button.
Yeah.
You know? And what I meant was like my own personal reset button. And this trip has hit a bigger and bolder reset button. It's kind of hard to describe because you weren't here. You could be, but this is kind of a reset on the whole world. I travelled a lot as a young bloke. I never came here. And after the last couple of weeks, I think my whole parameters have shifted. You know, I used to think Australia had the biggest amounts of wilderness in the world. We've got a big outback. This place is insane. I used to think that we managed our bush really well. Having seen the way the people here just go wherever they want, do whatever they want, keep it clean, man, we need some of that at home, you know? And even down to, like, we're talking about a world reset here, all right? Can I say this?
You can say
You don't
whatever
know, he doesn't know what I'm going to say, does he?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, say it. Okay.
Okay, in the 80s, when I was backpacking around the world, if people found out you're Australian, because, you know, you're travelling on routes, we keep running into people from all over the world, you know, and if people found out you're Australian, they used to say things like, oh, you guys have got beautiful beaches and, wow, boy, you blokes drink a lot of beer and your women are just so gorgeous and stuff like that, you know, and that was Australia in the eyes of the world. And then they'd follow with a, how is it to ride a kangaroo or something dumb like that. You know all we get now? I can't believe this. Blokes, people, girls come up and say, oh, Australia, you got too many rules there, haven't you? Wow. Even those Canadians we met the other day. Second thing they said, oh, I'd love to go to Australia, but I heard you got too many rules. Hey, guys, that's how the world views us, you know? Maybe we don't obey all the rules. Maybe the old convict streak's a little bit, you know, still working there, but fair dinkum.
Have you become an anarchist, John?
I've always been an anarchist, Matt. I've always been, so are you.
Less rules.
Yeah, less rules, but that's not the point. I never really thought about it. I knew, you know, our councils and you got to come to a place like this to realise that the world can exist without all those bloody rules. You know what I mean?
Although I did nearly get arrested for parking illegally.
Oh, you deserve that.
In California.
No. What you nearly got arrested for was punching out a park. No, maybe. You know, coming close.
For being an arsehole, pretty much.
Being an arsehole, yeah. Well, yeah, you've got to be an arsehole, Matt.
That was day one. We've had no run-in since then, but it worked out well.
And how quick did you...
We're all mates at the end of it.
We're all mates of it. You hit the reset and wound up apologising to the 14 guys with the flak jackets and the guns, and it was all good, you know. But we haven't had any problems. That was day one. that wasn't a problem
on that,
anyway.
though, isn't it cool how they sorted it out? Like, it was a
Yeah.
misunderstanding.
It's a
with where we're allowed to
misunderstanding.
park. Bit of hoo-ha. They brought in the Border Patrol because
Yeah.
no one respects the park rangers. And then we got the communication going. It was the Border Guard just said, "Oh, just give them an apology and
Just,
they'll be happy." And I went, "I'm really sorry, I parked in the wrong spot." And they let us go, give
And
me a
they let
hug.
us go.
I gave them a Nevermind sticker, high five, and off we went. Hey, you bloody beauty.
It was easy, it was good. It kind of set the tone for the whole trip, really, didn't it? You know,
Yeah.
the anarchic ride through Chile and Argentina. Oh man, there's
So
so.
I'll run through the itinerary quickly.
Yep,
So for the
yep,
folks at
yep.
home, so we started in El Calafate. We flew in there, jumped on the bikes, went out to the glacier.
Out to the
The
glacier.
Piotr Marino Glacier, which is incredible. It was just unreal, wasn't it?
Cried and laughed at the same time.
Yep.
Never done that in my life.
Then we rode up to El Chalton, Mount Fitzroy. That's where we did the last podcast from.
Oh,
So,
righto, yeah.
After that podcast, things got a bit hectic. We discovered a Beatles cover band. Oh. And weren't they incredible?
Weren't they good? In the middle of nowhere. And the boys are still talking about that as the 11th best night of the trip. Because they've all been good.
I reckon number one, that one. That was,
Yeah.
we were all dancing with the locals, partying. It was
Oh.
fantastic.
We showed them, that night they knew Australians didn't have any rules at all when they were in another country.
Yeah, that's one thing we have in common with the Argentinians. We know how to party.
Oh, we know how to party, all right. Actually, that place must have been half full of non-Argentinians.
A lot of local tourists.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, from Buenos Aires and whatnot. But then we headed up to Governor Gregores, the little agricultural town. That was a nice night. Had a little...
That's what I like about Nevermind trips. Like one night we're in the heart of Tourist Central, like small, out-of-the-way little Tourist Central, but still it all existed just for the glaciers and stuff. You got to see it. And then the next night, we're in a farming community, which was, man, I just rode around. I loved it. I rode around the streets, checking out all the old F100s. Found out there that rego's a little bit optional. Rego checks are a little bit non-existent.
Well, if your vehicle's over 20 years old, you don't have to register it here.
I need that rule in Queensland.
You wouldn't be paying any regos, would you? Or maybe the Mahindra.
The Mahindra, that's the only one.
Then we headed to do Lago Posadas. We had 2 nights there.
Yeah.
The 2 lakes. And we rode over the causeway.
Oh, how good was that?
The arch.
Yeah, that was like, I still think the 7 apostles, is there still 7 or have they lost a couple?
Oh, I should know because it's just down the road from me. But,
Just down the road, yeah.
Yeah, I'll stay away from it.
That was probably the most specky bit of water and rock in the world. I'm hesitating to say this because you're going to think I'm un-Australian, but
He's a turncoat.
I'm a turncoat. Fair dinkum. It was just glorious. And all the time surrounded by really high mountains that have still got snow on them. And bear in mind, it's the same season back home in Australia. It's high summer or just over summer, and we still get nice on the hills.
What I'm hearing is you've gone from being like Australia's the best to actually the world's the best. The world is my playground.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. That's the bit that's changed. I'm going home to Australia. I love Australia. If I get one more bloody rule slapped on me, I'm moving to Argentina.
By the way, he has booked a trip to Ireland in May, so we must be doing something right.
Oh, you are, mate. But I mean, even look at the crew here. Look, how many repeat customers are there? How many trips have you done, Slater?
I've done 4 now.
4?
3 in 18 months.
There you go. You don't get that kind of turnout. Struth.
Greg,
Wow.
you're booked the Himalayas already. Jamesy,
Himalayas, I'm a rookie.
the honk, he's booked the Himalayas. It's just...
A couple of mates.
Yeah. Wow.
Patagonia.
Bill's done about 500 trips, hasn't he? Doesn't he hold the record?
But what I always, like, these guys go, oh, should we tip, like you guys have done such a... I go, no. The best tips for us, book another trip next year or when you're ready.
Tell your mates.
And then bang, done. It just keeps us going and it keeps these guys out of trouble.
And
Or in trouble.
or in trouble. But talking mates, you know, look, whole new bunch of mates.
Yeah, you could call them that.
Who did you pester when you went to Perth? Who ran
Slater.
your trip?
Dan.
Dan, Dancing Dan.
So when we go to
Who
Perth,
did you borrow the car from?
Slater.
This is what you do with friends, not customers, friends.
We've got an amazing community in Nevermind.
Yeah,
It's incredible. It's a family.
Yeah, we have. I borrowed James's $2.50 glasses, and when I get home, I'm going to run down the Gold Coast just to buy him a beer and maybe give him his glasses back.
But that's the beautiful thing. It's like,
Yeah.
we're seeing this incredible place, but the camaraderie along the way, it just it's incredible. You know, like a few of these guys knew each other, a few didn't. James is new to the Nevermind family, and we're keeping him. I said to him today.
He fell straight in, didn't he?
You're staying,
He's just
mate.
a natural.
It's been unreal. But haven't we had good weather too? Like, I mean, you guys, this trip, I mean, this is my second one back to back. We did February and March, and just the whole time's been amazing weather. Like, it's
Which is a good thing because it was like 5, 6, 7 degrees in the morning down south if you're lucky, but then it would warm up 10 or 15. We saw the world's coldest desert the other day, and that lady at the vineyard, what did she say the temperature got to in winter?
Slater, what was it? Minus
Minus 27.
And we've been riding in 25, 27.
25,
in the
27.
afternoons.
It's just been fantastic. I appreciate being lucky, I tell you.
Perfect weather.
Oh.
So, Governor Gregores, Lago Posadas, and then where did we go after that? I can't remember.
You're asking me. I was following you, mate. Well, I don't know.
I get confused.
Anyone know where we went?
No,
Junta.
there was one in between.
Con.
Tranquillo, Porto Tranquillo.
Porto
The
Tranquillo.
Marble Caves.
Yeah, where the bar was anything but Tranquillo.
Those caves are amazing.
Weren't those caves amazing?
But that's a cool little town.
Yeah.
And how's the ride in? That's where we stopped and put the drone up, and I put it out, nearly lost it.
Oh, that was...
3 or 4 kilometres out over the lake, and I thought it was got to be over the other side.
Yeah.
It wasn't even halfway.
No, that was the best thing. It's really hard to get the idea. How many hours did we spend on the edge of that lake? It was hours.
No, days.
Well, days was it? Was
yeah.
it? Days.
we
There you go,
rode-
days.
We missed one place.
Where?
We missed a place. Chile Chico.
Oh, Chile Chico.
Where we did the podcast from. We
Yeah,
skipped one.
yeah.
How's the accommodation there? Talk about
Patagonia.
Patagonia
don't tell them.
acres.
It's a secret, trade secret.
Bill didn't say that,
No, it's a beautiful place.
but it was beautiful. We went, to get there, we went down a farm track, you know, and like, just for the people out there that appreciate nature, you know, I've seen some of the nicest looking wild horses.
I thought you were going to say something else then. I thought you were talking about the senoritas.
I'm not saying anything there. I'm going to leave that to someone else.
Dancing Dan. Well, we'll get to
A
Dan.
lot of married men here, eh? A lot of silence going on. Anyway, horse
Shut up.
paddocks, beautiful horses. Just a little farm track, you know, just a dirt road. We pop out at the end, and there's this place that would be 5-star anywhere in the entire world. It was just superb, wasn't it? And
Unreal.
little timber cabins. Every one of the cabins had a view out over the lakes, and the hospitality there.
3-course dinner.
3-course dinner. It was awesome, and lots of drink. Justin, that was his name.
From Tucson.
Shout out to Justin.
Justin from Tucson.
Couldn't
Who was
do
he?
enough for us, could he?
He reckoned he'd been born there and brought up there, but then he went over to the States for a while.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Anyway, it
Correct.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's kind of nice over here. That's the other thing, all right, for people who, you know, and my son once said this to me, one of my sons, my youngest son, he said, Dad, I don't get why everyone in the world doesn't speak English. Well, you come over here and tell the Spanish people that, mate, because as far as they're concerned, they don't understand why everyone in the world doesn't speak Spanish.
Yeah, it's a sexy language.
It's a sexy language. You know, you want to say, hello, how are you going? In Spanish, that translates to for about half an hour, doesn't it?
What the fuck?
They just burble on. It's wonderful.
Me gusta pepino.
Yeah, right, up yours too. Where were we?
We've been to Tranquillo, so we're still on Lake General Carrera. the biggest lake in Chile and Argentina. We rode around that. Then from there, Cuyahoga.
Cuyahoga. It's where we had lunch next to the river in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Oh, and the best lunch too. That was awesome.
How good are the barbecues we have? Like asado, we call them.
Asado.
Here. Although I reckon I cooked one last night. Which,
Mate, that was the best. That's why the guys got lost today, so they could eat all the meat. I'm sure of it that was left over. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he'll be. He's a good cook. But
he's a great cook.
To be fair, I've been watching him and I did get a few trade secrets off him. So.
I'm not going to say anything about the cooking other than the meat they were cooking was superb.
I've never had meat like that.
Oh, look, I don't even want to say that. It sounds so un-Australian. What do we do with our cows?
They won't let They won't let us back in the country. They're like, no, you slagged out our country.
Well,
We're not slagging it out, just saying it's pretty good.
It's pretty bloody good.
It's definitely the best steak I've had.
In all fairness, their police cars over here are crap compared to ours. Can you think of anything else?
What about the border crossings?
Oh.
How much fun are they, Santa? I actually look forward, like border crossings here are fun.
Yeah, they are.
They got young girls there and young dudes there.
Yeah.
And they're just doing their job. They don't want to be there. Neither do we. So we make a bit of a fun out of it.
We just have fun out of it.
They get to know us now. Like,
they know you. They know you, don't they? Yeah. They follow you out. Hey, Matty!
Oh, it's those pack of Aussies again. But we have a good laugh with them.
Had a good laugh all the way. I'm sort of feeling stretched from laughing, to be honest.
So then we went to La Junta.
Yeah.
I took you to my favourite little saloon bar in that little Wild West town with the wild horses running around down the street.
Yeah, that's right.
Had dinner there, and
wasn't that good?
Shauno smashed a few cerveza mojitos. So what they do is they get a beer, a pint.
Yeah.
No, it's a mojito.
No, it's a mojito.
And then they tip a stubby into it.
Which has got lots of lime and lemon. And
and they leave the stubby inside it.
Yeah.
And then you just drink it out of a straw.
As you're drinking, you pull up the beer a little bit and refill the glass.
Incredible.
And they were using Corona, which, as we all know, goes really well with lime.
That was perfect.
It was perfect.
They do get two of them and you sleep well.
What's that other one, the white one with the cherry?
Pisco sour. Oh, yeah, the pisco sour.
Pisco sour.
So that's pisco, that's the spirit. And then you got lemon juice and then you got egg white on top.
Pisco sour, mojito with a beer, soaker.
Yeah.
Man, those are two things we need to have back in Australia, all right?
I love La Junta too. Like, it's one of my favourite little places. It's just really authentic, you know. It's
it is.
Tiny little town, no tourists, you know. It's brilliant.
No, that was really nice. And we still had great accommodation again too, I thought.
That was in Chile still. Oh, that place is incredible. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just those cabins, you know, cabanas.
Cabanas.
And then we crossed the border back in Argentina.
Yep.
And we went to Esquel.
Esquel, that's right.
Which is another one of my favourite places. If I lived in Patagonia, that's where I'd live. It's
is that right?
Yeah, it's kind of a nice sized town, you know, 20,000 people or something. Services the route, but it's got a bit of tourism.
Yeah,
but not
a lot. It was all local stuff when we went out, wasn't
it?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't come to the Wild West bar there, but that was...
No, I'd had enough by then.
We had Argentina versus Australia on the pool table.
Again?
And Australia 2-0.
2-0.
2-0.
There you go, we can play pool.
And the Argentinians know how to cheat. You go for a piss, you come back and you're like, I was on the black.
Yeah, what's happened?
Now there's two of my balls back on the table. How the fuck... Sorry, how did that happen?
And on the way there, we went through Trevelyan.
Trevelyan.
Which is one end of the Welsh settlement here in Argentina. I only know this from talking to Lucia. And apparently when the Welsh got here, like a couple of hundred years ago, they sailed up the river. So they got one settlement down the bottom of the river and one up the top. And that's where the fire-eating dragon is on top of the touristy part. And it was the funniest thing, because you're going downtown, right? Now, where my wife comes from is right up in Anglesey, which is the old Isle of Moors, which is as far as the Romans got when they were chasing the Druids out of Britain, right? That's where all the Welsh women showed their bums and the Romans decided to build a wall, and things haven't changed since 400 AD, trust me. Anyway, all the names on the cenotaph in the middle of town, Williams, Davies, Roberts, they're all Welsh names, you know? And there's about 4 families of them, and everyone's related. So I'm coming up that street, and I saw Williams and Cervantes, you know? boot shop or something, and then I saw Roberts and Mercado or so. It was like Spanish and Welsh businesses.
Mate,
It's the names.
I don't want to throw you under the bus here.
What?
But you said something pretty funny the other day.
What was that?
I go, we're going to Trevelyan to see the Welsh fire-breathing dragon.
Okay, go and say it.
He goes, I got one of them at home. Sorry, Kaz. So here we are in Trevelyan in Patagonia. This is where the 150 or so Welsh settlers first came and put their roots down here, and there's a little dragon breathing fire up there to commemorate it. You might see it spitting fire.
That's all right. She's been giving me my lines forever, mate.
But I had to.
Oh, no, that's cool. And you know what? I did a little Facebook post there because it just made me feel proud. My family's half Welsh because of Kaz.
Yeah.
Our kids are half Welsh, you know. I'm not Welsh, but I'm really proud of my connected Welsh heritage, if that's right. And you can see the dragon over there. I'll tell you what, it's the middle of nowhere. It's beautiful country. Dragon's going off again. And I just want to say a big hello to my Welsh family because I'm married to a Welsh girl and my kids are half Welsh. And I love you guys. I'm really proud of what you've done here in the middle of Argentina. Oh, by the way, there's Williams Hardware and Davies Auto Repairs. Going to that place in the middle of nowhere, you know? And this is nowhere now on a motorbike. You can imagine nowhere back in the 1850s or whenever it was. Those people were brave as hell and really keen to get away from the English too, I'd say.
They must have been very keen to come to this part of the world in those days. It wouldn't have been easy.
Oh, man, it'd be a struggle. And you know, they don't like the English. I didn't realise how much they didn't like the English until we got there, mate.
I really enjoyed just sitting in that town, having a beer, just over the road from the fire-breathing dragon, just soaking it in. It was a nice sunny afternoon. We're only 20 k's from the hotel where we were staying that night. It was pretty chilled. We had a great day. We saw our first custom cars there. There's some
Jeep go past with like 36-inch tyres, and there was some interesting stuff there. A lot of old cars in Argentina and in Chile for that matter.
Yeah.
If you're into your old Ford pickups, and I saw a beautiful 57 Chev full-body trayback today, red one on the side of the road.
It
was... no, but it could have been with a little bit of work. I mean, that's the thing. They don't care. Well, you sit there and you listen to them go past, you know, and they're running on maybe 3, 4, 5 cylinders. Doesn't matter. They're still driving them. I get it now with the 20-year rule.
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah, it's not anyway. It's probably not the safest thing in the world, but...
They're not going fast, who cares?
Putting around carrying guanacos in the back and that sort of thing, and humans sometimes. But,
there's a rule for you, there's a rule. When did you last travel in the back of a ute in Australia, eh?
When did you last travel in the back of a ute? Today, on the way here.
Yeah,
well, you went in the front, I think. The other boys went in the back, but anyway.
Oh, no. It was my turn to
From the garage.
take one for the team, you know, and get in the front. I wanted to be in the back like everyone else, but
so from Esquel, well, we've got to talk about the night out. You had an early one that night. I didn't, because that's one of my favourite towns. It's got some nice bars. I like to have a drink with the locals in places like that because it's so interesting. You end up playing pool with farmers and labourers and tradies and that, and it's so fascinating to hear their stories. Even though I can't speak fluent Spanish and they can't speak English, but we work it out. And was
it gender optional, like the first place you took us to?
Yep. And you form these bond, and you know, they're like, oh, thank you so much for coming to our country. We love it, and it's such a.
They are like that, aren't they?
Yep. So we and I went back to a few bars that I've been to before.
No, thank you.
Terry, what do you think of Esquel?
Those are the guys.
What do I think of what?
Esquel,
where we are now. There's this tiny bar. There's this tiny bar. You couldn't swing a fucking cat in here. You could not swing a fucking cat in here. Look at this shit. This is tiny little town. We got some fucking... Look.
And the owners come out, give you a big hug. Thanks for bringing the guys back. You know, it helps. They love it. Spreading a bit of money around, and you know, probably a lot actually by the time all us go. And it
The
was
beer's not
fantastic.
expensive, by the way, and neither's the petrol. Everything else probably is, but beer and petrol's not too bad, is it? It's less than it is in Australia.
Well,
anyway.
I don't know. We've got a system where it's, I don't know. We send out a few beers every night, and someone pays the bill. We've just been taking turns. I think Slater's probably paid more than anyone. But
Yeah.
but,
Well, you know.
But
He's
Slater
loaded.
and Muir, if you need a mortgage, he's the man. Best mortgage broker in Australia.
You know what? He actually makes me want to go home and buy a house.
Yeah.
You know, just so I can take out a mortgage.
They're not all assholes, are they?
No, they're not.
No,
Are
there's
they?
some
I
good
can't
ones.
believe it. No, there you go, eh?
Yeah.
Actually, you could pretty much common denominator that for all the people I've met on my 2 trips, which is why I've lined up to do a third. Because,
Ireland, May.
you know, I love camaraderie. I had trips out in the bush where sometimes, most of the time it was brilliant. You know, they were just guys who wanted to share the outback and 4-wheel drives, and before that the trail bikes, and I never understood what was going on with the Japanese, so it didn't really matter. But at the end of the day, you know, 2 trips and a whole new bunch of friends, and it's actually what the guys call the Matt factor, which is a bit of a cult thing, and I don't even really know how to explain this.
I think we're all having a bromance.
A bromance. Oh, I'm just leaving now. There's something goes on in these trips. We're on the other side of the world. We're experiencing shit we've never experienced before, places we've never been to. We're doing it like a little team, you know.
Yeah.
It's like a club on holiday or something, and we're sharing the motorbikes, and there's been a lot of excitement in the biking because Matt, you know, I knew this from Sri Lanka, he's not frightened of taking a backtrack. Just the other day, was it only yesterday, we went right out to a whole bunch of rocks in a valley. What was that called? Pisto Nutto or something? I don't know. It was a massive bloody
Let's call
rock.
it Pisto Nutto.
Pisto Nutto.
I'm down with that. I think that's a great name for it.
And there's this river going through, you know. Well, as soon as you got water, you got half these blokes want to hop in their underpants and dive in, even though it's like -6.
This was warm yesterday.
I did so.
No way, you did it from down there.
No, I didn't. Did it from here. Watch, I'll do it. You go first.
No way.
Huh? Yeah, yes, way. Watch this. First, I've got to hold the camera, make sure I don't drop it. Woo! It's deep as fuck. Come on, Hog. You can do it! He's got to chicken out. Oh, Hog. Pin drop, mate. Pin drop. Yeah! Fuck, there's a splash! Woo! How was that?
Did it, Esky? You made me do the fucking craziest shit.
It's my job. Good fun, eh?
Yeah.
You feel alive.
Well, I mean, I fell asleep on the grass under a tree in my t-shirt, so it must have been pretty warm. That's after a feed.
Yeah, steak sanger and two cans.
Couple of cans, steak sanger, middle of the day. We rode, I don't know, 60, 70 Ks of ball bearings disguised as rocks to get there. That was an adventure, and it was an adventure. We got home, it was still an adventure. It's one of the nicest days I've ever had.
Yeah, it was a beautiful combination. Back to Esquel to where you've just described that. What did you call it?
I can't remember. Pisto Nutto.
Pisto Nutto. We stayed on a vineyard.
Oh, yeah.
So
Stayed at a
we
vineyard.
missed the vineyard tour down in the cellar, but I might get Slater to come up and talk about that at the end because it sounds like it was
get
incredible.
Slater in.
We were cooking.
Yeah.
But so that was great, and then we smashed out 400 k's today, and we're 2,800 k's later. We're in Villa Langostura. You know, like another. I like Esquel, but this is a bit more tourism here. You know, like but very German influenced. You can see in the architecture.
In the
and everything.
architecture, you can't you? I've seen this a couple of times now. When are we going downtown for dinner tonight?
Oh well, downtown's right behind us.
Oh, okay. We're going downtown for dinner
There's
tonight, are
one
we?
street over. Yeah.
Oh, good. I better buy something tourist-wise. I haven't bought
There's
anything yet.
plenty of souvenir shops here. This is the
Is
place.
there? This is the place?
Knife shops, leatherwork, all the German stuff is here.
Okay.
You know, then you want badges, stickers, it's all here. So it's a great place for it.
I'm going home with a lederhosen and 3 of these 1 litre bottles of beer.
In the
No,
back
I'm
of a
not.
divvy van. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
So yeah, like, you know, I think that sort of sums the trip up. I mean, we've had a lot of discussions and
Words can't describe the trip, Matt. Words
and
can't
that's why
describe it.
you know, that's why I've got John here, because he said to me the other day, he goes, you're onto something here, Matt. And I go, well, it's our job to get it out to the world, get people to come along. Don't be scared, you know, if you're sort of worried about the riding or whatever, have a chat to us, you know, we'll fill you in on, you know, what it's like and what you need, the sort of experience and that, but it's not...
And don't worry, if you're not up to it, Matt's pretty quick to tell people they're not up to it, you know.
Or we'll say, look, you know, start on a different trip, maybe Sri Lanka or something, a little
Get
bit
a feel
cruisier,
for it.
and then you'll get to know, you'll meet other people that have done it, and you can watch the videos as well. We've got some incredible drone footage on this trip. I know. I've learned to fly a drone. I couldn't even turn the bloody thing on 2 weeks ago. Now I'm an expert.
Done really well, mate, I'll tell you what.
I could get a job just as a drone pilot.
It's kind of gone from zit, 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 you know, a bit like
Hey,
Will
wasn't
Smith's
that- wasn't that
robot.
bad.
Oh,
Wasn't
it
that
kind of
bad.
was. And then it smoothed right out, and now it's
This
playful.
bloke.
Beautiful. Hey,
Yeah,
listen, I've worked with some of the best.
So
It's been the best ever, okay?
it is.
Look at me, listen to me. If you're leading a shit boring life and you really need to kick yourself into gear, come and do something like this, because fair income, you know, someone said it on a Facebook post, this is living, this really is living. You know, not with your hat backwards listening to yobbo music with 300 other people in a caravan park. This is living. Whew.
Well, I think we should open it up to the guys. Come and
Who wants
come
to
and tell
say
us about
something?
the wine cellar last night, Slater.
Hang on, Slater. You take.
Do I put that in there?
Oh, you can just hold it in your mouth, whatever.
Okay.
Get another beer.
Yeah, the vineyard.
Get me one as well.
The vineyard was amazing. They showed us through the mechanics of it and how they crush the grapes and all that sort of stuff, but probably pretty much seen that before. But then they walked us down the driveway and there was 2 iron doors sort of in the ground, which looked like it's going to some sort of cellar or dungeon.
What sort of dungeon? What will go
Yeah,
on?
I'm not sure. A wine dungeon.
A
Matthew.
wine dungeon, okay. I
That's the
just
dungeon.
wanted to clarify that.
So they opened the door and we walked down these steps and down there they had all their barrels. It was a big room. And whilst it, as they said before, it goes to like minus 27 upstairs in winter and 24, 25 in summer, it's consistent 17 to 19 degrees down there. And they have all their bottles of wine.
I'm spewing I missed it.
It's amazing. Well, you were cooking the meat, so
yeah,
that's
I know.
fine. Anyway, that's my contribution. Daniel,
What do you want to say about the trip?
the trip.
You've done 4?
I've done 4 now.
Himalayas,
Yeah.
Sri Lanka,
Yep.
Rajasthan.
Rajasthan last November
Patagonia.
and this one. As I've said to you before, Matthew,
Matthew,
Matt,
my mum
sorry.
calls me that.
I don't come on these trips just for the environment and the riding, because quite frankly, the riding most of the time terrifies me. The gravel, I hate it. And every day I'm on my bike and I'm going, why am I here? But then I get to the end of the day and I sort of think to myself, I've achieved something amazing, meet some incredible people that I wouldn't have met before, but it just challenges me personally, physically, mentally, and I come away from here and I take that into my life with my partner, with my wife, with my work. I feel I'm a better person because I've done this, and that's why I've done it 4 times, and I'm doing it again next year.
Ireland next year.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm taking the wife with me. 'cause
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I really want to share with Gailey, my wife, what I actually get out of this. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't think you And I know you don't know what's going on until you actually do one of these things. And I love putting my little Facebook posts up, and all my mates back home go, "Oh, you're living the dream, and well done, Slater, and fantastic." And I'm thinking to myself, well, get off your ass and do it yourself, mate, because it's out there, it's available. You just got to have the courage and the ability to get off and do it.
That's the only hard bit. It's just booking it.
Yeah.
After that, it all happens.
And
So you want to give yourself a little plug?
oh, Slater and Muir Mortgage Brokers, if you
Slater
want.
and Muir Home Mortgage Brokers. If you need a home loan, the best rates.
By the way-
0.1% discount. Mention promo code Nevermind Adventure
That's
Tours.
the one. Yeah, we go right there. I'm not here for that.
And I'll give you a T-shirt as well.
And so thank you to Matt again.
You're the best, mate. All right, who's next? Dancing Dan. Come on, you like that. This is your third one?
Yeah. So this is the third trip for me, Sri Lanka, then Rajasthan, now Patagonia. And I'd like to start. Thank you, Matt. You've taken me on the most amazing tour through the most amazing part of the world.
We want the dirt, mate. We want the dirt. What's
you
the
want to
stories?
get straight to the good stuff.
Tell us about the karaoke night. Come this way. You're off camera.
Sorry, I'm off camera.
You look like you're trying to get away from him.
That was almost deliberate. So,
Tell us about the karaoke night in Esquel.
well, no.
And why do they call you Dancing Dan?
Well, that's where it all starts, isn't it? So apparently I'm Dancing
Allegedly.
Dan. And all I've really discovered is that if you dance really badly, then that gives everyone else the courage to get involved. So it's like when we were at high school, and you had the gymnasium and all the girls on one side and all the boys on the other side.
I went to a boys' school, so...
Oh, now, Matt, that's a whole different story. But the biggest problem was getting the courage to pick up courage and go and get a girl and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's the secret to the whole thing. Is just my lack of talent brings out the best in other people.
He's very modest. He's a great dancer. Don't listen to that. I've seen him just get a whole party started.
Yeah. So the fact is, I love music. I love to move to music, and there's something about these trips that make me not embarrassed.
We'll splice some video of Dan into this.
If you must.
Thanks, man.
No worries.
Thanks.
mate.
Loved it. Jamesy! Greg's a first timer. Nevermind adventurer, so this will be interesting. But he's a man of many words, so.
Well, that depends how many beers
John,
you've
you
had.
said you were going to get me a beer, but you didn't.
They've all gone, mate.
Oh.
Drank it while you weren't watching.
Well, you have to share that one with me then.
What an awesome time. I haven't ridden bikes for ages. I probably spent more time on road bikes than adventure bikes. And I'm certainly a way better rider now than what I was when I came here. But that's only just a minute part of it.
Yeah.
This has just been... I've done a lot of stuff in my life. I've done a lot of stuff. This was awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely awesome. Everything was covered. Seb and Luce, the back support staff, absolutely fantastic.
Aren't they great?
Oh, wow.
They're just beautiful people. Like,
Yeah, they are. They really are.
Neverminders through and through, those guys.
Yep.
They're two of the best people I know.
And I just everything was done right. Did we? I guess the best thing that I can say...
The honk did split us up today.
Did he?
But we'll get to that.
I just loved how everything was taken away. Like there's guys here for different professions. I'm really fortunate. I'm retired, but I still like to be in control. Well, the best thing about this, I don't have to be in control. I can just jump on the bike and be me.
Yeah.
And enjoy what's going on. Everything's taken care for you. I love steak. If you love steak, get here. Absolutely, get here.
We do it. Slater's a vegetarian.
Yeah.
He loves it. So.
Yeah, veggies are welcome too, but like if you love steak, you need to get here. I just, I just, some of the, I heard Roothy during this talk about the spiritual side of things, and I'm far from spiritual. Don't get me wrong.
I can sense the energy.
But when you're just riding down the road, if you're riding down the road, and what's so cool about it as well as Matt and all the rest of the guys that you meet, you become mates with, you're just yourself. You don't have to be anyone else. You don't have to be a 5-star rock star motorbike rider. You can just cruise along, and you're just cruising down the highway or the dirt road or whatever you're doing by yourself, your own thoughts, and it's just magic.
You should start
Just
a YouTube
magic.
channel. You're good at this.
Yeah. Well, you just got to understand that, when, I've had hard times in life, and I'm fortunate now, but you've got to make things happen, and I made this happen to come here, and one of the best things I ever did, mate.
Thanks,
awesome.
man. Love ya. Can't wait for the Himalayas 2026.
Himalaya 2026. I'm taking my 2 boys.
And the honk.
The honk's coming. Who else? Billy's coming.
Bill's coming.
Ruthie's coming. Woo!
I miss you.
Sorry, there's no room left on 2026.
you're last.
Nah, it's coming. It's coming.
Wayno,
We're
you want
going.
to get up? Come on. Get on camera, it'll be right.
Cheers.
Go and do that. Go and do that and come back.
All right.
Tell us about your trip. You've had an
It's been
interesting
good.
one.
I've had a very interesting one. We won't go into too much detail.
Your second tour with Nevermind?
It is the second
Vietnam?
one. Vietnam was awesome. This was just incredible. One of the highlights, and I'm actually surprised that Roothy didn't mention it because I know he had a tear in his eye, was the glaciers.
Yeah.
I know Roothy was going on about, I've never seen a glacier before, and I've never seen one like it before. I've seen one in Canada quite a while ago.
Piotr Marino.
It was amazing,
Big, innit?
really incredible.
And the hanging one too.
Yeah.
In Chile.
And didn't you get a shot of one falling down into the water?
Yeah, we got that video. We'll put it up.
Amazing. Look, great bunch of guys, and if you are worried that you don't know anybody on the trip, don't worry about it because everybody gets on.
You will buy the first 3 hours.
Yeah, pretty much. No, look, great team. Lucy and Seb, fantastic.
Yeah.
Great couple.
Yeah, good.
Just had a ball. And like Matt was saying, that if you are not sure about your riding skills, they'll put you in the right kind of trip that you want to be on if you need be. No problem at all. No, it's been great. It's been awesome. Had a great time.
Thanks, mate. Love it. Thanks for coming back.
Okay.
And I hope you come back again.
Will do. Cheers, mate.
Where's the honk? Where's the honk?
The Savage. We'll get the Savage up. The Savage. He's part of the team, but we'll get him up here.
Whether
What do you
I
got
like
to
it or
say
not.
for yourself? Man of few words.
Yeah. No,
Doesn't like a chat.
No, never.
He's the spiritual component of the group.
Yeah, I kept a little bit quiet this time, but me and Matt been around for a few years together now.
Mate, we've been together. This is going to be our 7th or 8th anniversary.
And been through a fair bit of shit in life, at the same time, right?
Facts.
And what's brilliant is just, we see things the same way, we roll the same way when we're on the road.
What's the highlight of the trip? That's what I want to know,
fucking
Bill. You've
highlight,
done a
shit.
lot of riding in your life. I want to know
Right.
one thing you loved.
One
the
thing,
most.
fuck.
Oh, yes! We'll put a video of that up, too.
Which one was that?
That was the Beatles night.
Oh, Beatles night, right?
On the back
How
of
can you
James's
fucking
shoulders,
go wrong
dude.
with that? Yeah, fucking sitting on James's
You can't
shoulders.
swear on YouTube.
I can't do that.
'Cause
Yeah,
the algorithm will chop
right.
us out.
So I'm on James's shoulders. We're dancing. We're having a great time. And Beatles night was just that was
How
good.
good was it?
I reckon that was better in Sri Lanka, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was
That
good.
was-
we
that was-
had
that
a
was in the
night in
top.
Sri Lanka was last year.
That was Nevermind.
And that was pretty epic. It really was. And as someone who's been around the plant a little bit, and I've ridden for a fair few organizations, and I've done my own thing. When Matt, I don't know, a couple years ago was like, "Hey, we're bringing the outfit back. What do you think?" We're throwing everything at, I think it was India,
Himalayas. Yeah,
and I'm
a couple
like,
years ago.
yeah, I'm there.
Let's do it, yeah.
Let's do it. And don't regret it for a minute. And
I haven't been able to shake him since.
yeah, no, I'm hard to shake, hard to get rid of. But every one of these tours, and these guys, it's just, I'm an Aussie Yank or a Yankee Oz, depending on how you look at it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Jamesy and Wayne are my
No
my
influence.
my new mates, but the rest of you I've met before. And
Two new mates, but the rest of you are all right as well.
no, I
That's
would
it,
pay
you're
for
off.
anything.
You're off. Thanks, mate. Thanks
You
for all your
bet.
support. Love you. All right, last but not least. He's an animal. Self-confessed fastest rider in the group. Self-confessed
okay.
funniest bloke. Self-confessed biggest drinker. The honk, Sean Cadwallander.
Well, between Roothy's 250,000 followers and my 100,000 followers on YouTube.
Oh, 100,000. Your audience is growing quickly.
My new YouTube channel. I think Nevermind Adventure is going to be doing all right after this.
I hope so.
Yeah, so what can I say? It's been a sensory overload.
So we've been mates for 35 years or something.
That's correct.
Grew
yep.
up riding together, learnt to ride
Riding.
together, riding dirt bikes over the years, lived in Perth on and off, Geelong, blah, 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 moved. We seemed to follow each other around.
Yep.
And you thought, I'm going to book one of these bloody trips my mate does.
It's taken, I think, 9 years.
More.
The first trip Matt and I did was the rickshaw run, and Matt got off that trip and said, I'm not doing this anymore. He used to be a environmental engineer or scientist.
That was before that trip.
For PHP, and I was thinking, wow, you're mad. But it's great to see a good friend of mine doing and see what he does for a living. Just as I said, I cannot, and if you've seen my Facebook photos, there's a few people commenting on it. It's just, it has been absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't. Everyone else has
To have one of my
explained
best
it.
mates on to show you what I do is a privilege, and I'm just chuffed.
And probably one of the best thing is the scenery.
Yeah.
The second best thing is that you actually ride at a pace that other people that can ride, like myself,
We open it up.
yeah,
Everyone rides
can
at their own
try
pace.
and keep up. But that's if you want to suck the dust all day, and that's what I've been
Yeah.
doing.
Well,
Yeah.
you are the best rider in the group.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and
I'll take that one, all right.
yeah.
I didn't have a get off. I never had a get off, and I was the only bike that didn't have a broken indicator.
I'll give you the
That come
tip.
in.
If you get offered to twin share with Sean, the big honk, decline. When he goes for a piss in the middle of the night, it's like Niagara Falls. He's a big bloke, and it's like Niagara Falls is inside your room, and he doesn't shut the door either. So share with me or one of the quieter blokes.
Yeah. So when
Or get your own room. Get your own room.
I think the third best thing is I've done a lot of tours, and me being a bigger bloke, I eat a bit of food. I didn't get this big picking daisies in the top paddock.
Eats like a pig.
Yeah, so the food is absolutely unbelievable. There's always left over, and I never leave anything over. So
He doesn't. This
Yeah.
is true.
And if you like meat, that's even better, which
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what was the best place you stayed at
To be honest with you,
on the spot?
I think
Well, if you were going to live somewhere in Patagonia, out of all the places you went to, which one would you pick?
I would have picked yesterday where that volcano is.
Really?
Yeah.
That little town?
That little town. It just seemed really,
What did
really
Ruthie call it?
third
What's it
world.
called? What's it called, Ruthie?
What do you call it? Like
Pisto Rocco. El Pisto Rocco.
banjo playing fucking
Deliverance or-
Deliverance. My type of town.
Squeal like a pig.
Yeah, you could drive around with no rego. There's no police.
How good were the windscreens?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said. We need to open a windscreen shop in this town. We'll make a killing.
Yep. And there was a winery and there was cheap beer.
Yeah, it's beautiful accommodation. Well, they're lovely people.
That's all I
They're
care
coming to
about.
visit us. I told them to come to Geelong and stay for a couple of months.
Oh, yeah, yep.
So don't worry about the rest of the country. Just come to Geelong.
Belmont.
Belmont.
Yeah.
Belmont.
Because it's got a Kmart.
Yeah. And it's got a creek. So, anyway, mate, thanks for coming along.
Mate,
You've done
it's been-
well.
Wait on.
All righto, we're all getting in, are we?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, meet the team.
We just all want to give Matt a big clap.
Oh, and a clap to you guys. Clap to you guys. So we've got the Himalayas in July 22nd, and then you got Rajasthan, Sri Lanka later in the year. Ruthie might be on a few more of them. I just got to see if I can convince him. And then there's always next year as well. So www.nevermindadventuretours.com.au. Thanks for watching, guys. Cut. I hope that worked. That was awesome.
Yeah.